isolation center. Our average daily rates of infection now stand at 700 compared to 200 2 weeks ago. If there's no urgent reason for you to be outside, please stay at home.
The news at 6 is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 in Accra. It's also on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, affiliates across Ghana, including Might FM Tamale, Bedroom FM Northeast and Savannah regions, and worldwide at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, President Akufo Addo's representative at the Finance Ministry heads to the U.S. for medical attention as he suffers post-COVID-19 complications requiring help from doctors abroad. Meanwhile, Ghana's COVID-19 cases continue to worsen as the country records 76 deaths in 1 week and significant increase in active cases. We have details as the infection spreads to some schools.
Initially, there was one case that was positive, and then we did contact tracing and we've picked 7 more cases. So currently, they have 8 cases.
Plus, we put a spotlight on some persons with disability and how they've been impacted by the pandemic.
It's an unexpected experience that you have to live through, already burdened with what I am already going through as a person.
And in business,
government settles a little over 50% of debt owed independent power producers, but energy sector debt may rise to $12.5 billion by 2023. More later on the Joy Business Report.
And also in this package, Government of Ghana loses case against power company GCGP Limited as International Court of Arbitration awards cost of $134 million in judgment debt. We'll also tell you what to expect as the election petition hearing resumes this morning. Thanks for your company. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Let's settle now for the details and to our first story. President Akufo Addo's representative at the Finance Ministry, Ofori Atta, has flown out to the United States to seek medical review after suffering what his office says is post-COVID-19 complications that require attention currently not available in Ghana. Mr. Ofori Atta, who is also the Finance Minister designate, was due to be vetted by Parliament Appointment Committee on Tuesday. Enimo Animado joins me with details of a statement released by the Finance Ministry. Anyway, so what exactly does the statement say?
All right, well, it's dated February 14th, 2021, and it says the Ministry of Finance wishes to inform the general public and stakeholders that Mr. Ofori Atta, the representative of His Excellency the President at the Ministry of Finance and Minister Designate for Finance, will travel to the United States of America today for a special medical review. After recovering from COVID-19 last December, Mr. Ofori Atta has had medical complications which doctors advise require further interventions not currently available in Ghana. He's expected to be away for 2 weeks. Mr. Ofori Atta was scheduled to appear before the Appointments Committee of Parliament on Tuesday, the 16th of February 2021. The leadership of Parliament has been duly notified for a new date to be fixed upon his return, and it was issued by the Public Relations Unit of the Ministry of Finance.
Any other with details of that statement there. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, Ghana is still struggling to bring the spread of COVID-19 under control. In just 1 week, the country has recorded more than 5,000 new cases, according to data from the Ghana Health Service, capturing events between the 3rd and 10th of February 2021. Here's head of our health desk here at Joy News, Fred Smith, with a breakdown of COVID-19 infections in Ghana over the last week.
The week under review started on the 3rd of February at a case count of 70,768. In the latest update capturing events on the 10th of February, there are a total of 75,836 cases, a difference of 5,068. In terms of deaths, the figure at the start of the week was 457. Since then, as many as 76 persons have died, bringing the death toll to 533. The active cases have also increased by 1,862, bringing the current active cases to 8,836. There are more than 100 severe cases and 33 persons in critical condition.
Fred Smith is head of our health desk here at Joy News. Now, the infection continues to spread through schools. The latest to be hit is the Yoso College of Education. Western North Regional Director of Health, Dr. Francis Techi, confirmed the outbreak there to Joy News.
In Yoso College of Education has recorded a case of COVID-19. Initially, there was one case that was positive. And then we did contact tracing and we've picked 7 more cases. So currently they have 8 cases, and we've done their contacts and we've sent them to KCCR in Kumasi, and we are awaiting the results.
You heard that the Northeast Regional Director, Western North Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Francis Tichy. Well, it's almost a year since Ghana recorded its first COVID-19 case. The virus, with its toll on livelihoods, forced restrictions and lockdowns, has turned our world on its head. Joy News' latest hotline documentary, produced by Justice Beidou, finds out how persons with disability have been impacted. Here are excerpts.
Potiphar lives in the small town of Pokrum in Sabah in the eastern region. As a blind teenager, he has honed his craft for years as a musician and an instrumentalist.
If you give me instruments and you tell me you will not give me food, like I would like me, because me, I like where there is singing and other stuff.
For him, life was already tough even before the virus. All his siblings are disabled. Anita Amedi, his sister, is blind. Patricia Amedi, another sister, also mentally ill. George, Anita's husband, he too a blind man. They all live in the same home with Potiphar.
Potiphar schools are the Kopon School for the Blind, one of the very few centers of learning for visually impaired children in Ghana. When the government closed schools in March 2020 at the height of the pandemic, some students benefited from virtual classes. He has no learning device, and the government virtual learning plan had no clear alternative for children with special needs like him.
Me per se, I don't have lights, and I don't have a laptop too, so that, if I have a laptop, I can just use my laptop to learn. Because of COVID, I did not learn anything.
The documentary airs across all Joy News platforms on radio, TV, and online today. Away from coronavirus now, the government is expected to pay $134 million in judgment debts to power company GCGP Limited. It follows a ruling by the International Court of Arbitration over the cancellation of an emergency power agreement with the company. The court ruled that the contract was validly terminated following Government of Ghana's refusal to honor its part of the agreement with the power company. Court correspondent Joseph Akable joins me in studio with more details on this. So, what's the background to this case?
In early 2015, Ghana faced the electricity crisis in the sense that demand outstripped supply. Government entered into negotiations with GPGC to provide fast-track power generation solution. A power purchase agreement was eventually signed. Elections took place, and when government changed, the new government was concerned about previous commitment that would result in excess supply of power. So a committee was set up to review such agreements. It recommended a termination of this particular power purchase agreement.
And so what's the ruling of the court?
The arbitrator found that government terminated it on the basis of a cost-benefit analysis, that is, believing that to be paying a company a one-off $18 million as against an annual $24 million for 4 years for power that is not needed. The arbitrator says this entitled the company to early termination fee, which its calculation puts at $134.3 million.
Joseph Akable, thank you very much. Let's stay a while longer in the court, but this time at the Supreme Court, because the 2020 NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama says it is in the interest of justice and fairness that the Supreme Court allows him to reopen his case. This, he explains, is a quest to subject the EC chairperson to questions through a subpoena, which he argues will settle issues of alleged vote padding that came up during the election petition hearing. As the Supreme Court sits this morning, court correspondent Joseph Akable in the following report looks at why Mr. Mahama wants this request granted and the views of a lawyer.
The threshold of proof should, in principle, be above.
The Apex Court on Thursday had this to say about how a petitioner wins a case.
The petitioner in an election dispute stands or falls on the strength of his or her own case and never on the weakness or otherwise of the evidence of the respondent.
Mr. Mahama says being allowed to reopen his case is fair and just because there are questions his lawyers intend to pose to EC chairperson Jean Mensah. They include seeking clarification on allegations of vote padding, instances of multiple pink sheets for the same area, and whether or not Jean Mensah instructed his representatives to leave the strong room. Private legal practitioner Martin Kwebu explains the hurdle Mr. Mahama must scale in order to be successful.
You need to demonstrate to the court how the evidence of this new witness is critical.
You had lawyer Martin Kwebu ending that report there. And that's all for the news at 6 here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Manuel Cranting. Thanks for your company.
Charlie, check this.